Hey, good morning, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Blue Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Hope everybody's having a great Sunday. Today's going to be a big day. We have our members call-in show, 5 o'clock this evening. Can't wait to be talking to you guys. We always have so much fun, especially with my buddy Leo, who is our resident Eagle fan. Leo is a huge fan of the channel and stuff. He's going to actually man up and go to Dallas when we go to Dallas versus the Eagles, and hopefully we'll be seeing Dan Saleo there as well. And we've got a challenge out to Philly 500, and his whole thing is we'll see. I'm sorry, I think he's chicken. So I had to get out early this morning. I got to help my brother out a little bit here while his car's in the shop, get him to work and things, because that's what family does. We look out for each other. And so I'm doing my morning video here on the road. Now, there was an article out about Mike McCarthy is getting fed up with Jerry Jones. And here's the thing that happens this time of year, because there's all kinds of articles out there of why Dak Prescott could be traded at the middle of the season, or that the Cowboys are going to do this, or this is how the Cowboys feel about Dak, that they're going to sign him, they're not going to sign him. The thing is, with all this stuff, I think the right word is conjecture. That might be wrong. You know, I say I make mistakes, mental mistakes, and I apologize in advance, because I'm a one-take guy. There's no script. There's nobody feeding me stuff. And a lot of times I'll mess up. Like I said, instead of saying Devontae Adams with the Raiders the other day, I said Jamal Adams. Okay. You know, maybe I'm getting dementia. I don't know. But I always, you know, when you're doing these things, you'll blah, 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 you know, and it comes out and you happen to get the thing wrong. Forgive me. I know 49er fan that's so funny to me that when I tell him that Brock Purdy is just a freaking bus driver with great offensive talent around him, that it literally triggers him to the point where he has to fire off an email. And he'll literally say, I'm getting sick of your shit. You know, what's funny is you say that, but yet you still watch. You still watch and microcomb every comment that I make. But it's cool. So I read the article because I thought it had, you know, some evidence of where Mike McCarthy is fed up with Jerry Jones, where you've seen he was pissed off, where he was testy, or he said something about, you know, we don't have enough players on the team. You know, Jerry Jones is being a cheap ass, you know, kind of like what Dan Quinn did, where he was basically saying that, you know, there's no sense of urgency because tomorrow's not promised, you know, and that's where you need to be all in all the time, that you got to be going, damn the torpedoes, full steam ahead, and saying, yeah, but it might sink our ship, you know. And that was where you definitely see Dan Quinn was fed up with the Joneses. But I read the article, and they pointed out that, yeah, well, you know, a front office person said, you know, that it's undermined. I mean, we all agree it does undermine him if he's on the last year of his deal, because, of course, the players look at this and say, I don't know if he's going to be back next year or not, and will bypass him potentially to the front office and basically making him null and void, you know, a lame duck coach. And that is a possibility, but that doesn't mean that Mike McCarthy is fed up with that. Quite frankly, if you think about it this way, I want you to think about this one for a second here. Because look what's happened in the last 3 years, or 4 years, I should say. The last couple of years that Mike McCarthy was in Green Bay were bad. I think he had 7 wins and then 6 wins, and then he got fired. And people would always say, oh my God, you had Aaron Rodgers and you only won one Super Bowl. Okay, you only won one Super Bowl. And they made it out that the reason that they won the Super Bowl wasn't because of Mike McCarthy. It was because of Aaron Rodgers, in which case Aaron Rodgers literally got Mike McCarthy fired. He's got him under the bus. But now you've seen, after Mike McCarthy, Aaron Rodgers played well. They were the number one seed one year and proceeded to lose to San Francisco right after we did. And quite frankly, you can look since the Super Bowl win, Aaron Rodgers' postseason record has not been great. It has not been, especially the last few years. And you look at Mike McCarthy going through a couple of losing seasons in Green Bay where everybody looked at him and said, he's an idiot. Well, say what you will, Cowboy fans, that Mike McCarthy is not a good coach and he sucked and it was just Aaron Rodgers. I know they haven't had the postseason success, but when you start looking and saying, with Jerry Jones and his lack of desire to add talent to the team, Mike McCarthy's turned his career back around. 3 years in a row with the Dallas Cowboys in the playoffs, 12-5, with a quarterback that a lot of people say is meh. And when you see what he did with Dak Prescott as the play caller, now maybe it doesn't work out in Dallas, and maybe this is his last year. But understand, when he got let go from Green Bay, nobody was knocking on his door. Nobody. Remember, he sat in his garage and started a analytics company, basically to study game film and everything else, that maybe had the Cowboys not given him an opportunity, he'd still be there. Now, if he ends up leaving, you don't think that somebody else won't want to hire that guy who had more wins with the Dallas Cowboys than anybody since Tom Landry? If you can win in Dallas, you might be able to win in a lot of places. You look at some of these teams that are hiring some of these coaches and you say, well, he took Dak Prescott from being a turnover machine that 1 year to leading the league in points without a running game. Yeah, so in some regards, it may be that Jerry Jones is doing Mike McCarthy a favor by not tying him down for several more years, that if he wants to go elsewhere, he's got options now. And in reading that article, it's all conjecture. It's all, well, he's got to be tired of this because he's being undermined and this, that, and the other. And it's like, there's no meat on the bones on this article. In the same way that we get all these proposed trades, these aren't trades that have actually been proposed by the team. These aren't people in the organization that are saying, here's what we're going to try and do. They're all people just like me making shit up to have a conversation, or I kind of say it's the fantasy football mentality where everybody thinks that it's fantasy football and you can just trade this guy and trade that guy and, everything is going to be great. But that's not how football works in any stretch of the imagination. From what I see with Mike McCarthy, and every year that we hear that this is Mike McCarthy's under pressure, and if he doesn't go for a deep run that he's fired and out of here, I remember the Chan Gailey years. I remember the Jason Garrett years. And, God, I keep forgetting the 3, 5, and 11 seasons with lovable guy, great special teams coach, but not a good head coach. It's like I've got a mental block on that one because it was so bad that I just don't want to remember. it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy to look at a team, assuming that they don't have like a 4-11 year. 4-13 year. That they make the playoffs again. I'm sorry. It's hard to turn around and say, get rid of that guy, when we have been an organization that has been starved for so long. But then again, I know everybody says none of that matters. It's all about Super Bowls. Okay. I agree. It is about Super Bowls. But putting yourself in a worse position and starting all over with the same guys that got us to this point, I'm not sure that these are the guys to start tearing shit down and starting all over. And I don't think that that's going to be their mentality. They're always, if we add a little here and draft there and so on, and we penny pinch with the UFLs, we're close enough that we can get there. That's their philosophy. Everything else, it's just people making shit up. Hope you guys have a great day. Hope to see you guys for our live stream at 5 o'clock. It always gets lively. And tonight, this evening, I got something special, and I need to go back and do some more research on it to be ready for this. This will definitely be something you will enjoy. I'm Mark Holmes, and I appreciate you guys. I hope you're all having a great day. Peace.